steal
local
it.
artist.
He'd steal the show.
Market.
Yeah. Doing something to shove them down here. Looking at a bridge that was built in 1814. Looking down at the Spey River there. This is Strathisla Distillery. Beautiful looking distillery. Gardens, the pagodas. It's something out of a postcard. Looking over toward the distillery here. Quite beautiful. Big smile on Laura's face. We made it to Aberlour.
Fucking terrified.
Cruise ferry is a bigger ferry. But here we are, Talisker. That wasn't too far a walk, right downtown. So there is our birthday girl, that is Rachel, and she's off at the bar talking it up with the bartender. He might be the tour guide, I'm not too sure.
I plan to be an Oban. Oban.
Oban.
Oban.
Oban matters.
I got a smart man.
The alcohol evaporates. This one's out the line arm, and it hits the red shell and chip condenser that I pointed out earlier. When this happens, back into liquid, it comes out here as our white.
We'll take a look right in here. And there it is, it's pouring out. And I'm just going to stick my finger in here, and I'm going to have a taste.
I hear the train a-comin', it's rolling around the bend. And I ain't seen the sunshine since I don't know when. I'm stuck in Folsom Prison.
Well, welcome to Noel's World of Whiskey. Hope you enjoyed that presentation. The long way around to Islay. And of course, heading more north of Edinburgh, you're heading up through the Highlands there to Speyside country, and then shooting west over toward the Isle of Skye, and then heading south through Fort William, Ben Nevis Distillery, and down through Oban, and then heading south all the way down to the Kintyre Peninsula to Campbelltown, which of course is Springbank, and just up the Kintyre Peninsula to Kennacraig, which is the ferry terminal to head to Islay. So anyways, at the very end of that presentation, you notice the old fella dancing. Well, I sat next to him in the pub for a while, and he had this really nice smile on, and I was kind of wondering, how old is this guy? And when he was up there dancing, you saw him dancing there, his daughter told me he was 92 years old. So, showing what he could do at 92. Anyways, we are now going to do what we promised to do after doing the Kilchoman 13-year-old age statement, and of course the Loch Gorm 10-year-old age statement. And we talked to you the last couple of videos about me and Al doing some trading, and he's got some of this stuff, and I get this guy here, the 16-year-old. Now the 16-year-old was above my my budget. Here in Canada, I think the best price I saw was just a little under 400. I think it's over 400 now, but if you can find it, I think it's pretty much all those bottles are gone. I'm pretty sure they are. So remember, this is a 2023 presentation. So, but anyways, we did some trading there. Al and I do a lot of trading. You know, I've got a few friends that I trade with, Jeff, and of course Randy up north of here that we go back and forth with our whiskeys. So. This is, to me, something special. I've watched so many reviews on this 16, so hopefully I don't get too self-indulgent in this one here, and we'll try to cut it short. Let's get right to the juice and see what it's all about, okay? Looks good. It, boy, colors. Little bit, I think it's a little bit darker than the, I'll put it next to a glass of the Loch Gorm there, but I think it's just a hair bit darker maybe. Or about the same, it's hard to say. I'm going to bring it up to you, I'll let you see it. Now I put all three glasses on the table. The one on the left is the 13-year-old, quite a bit lighter than the other two. The one in the center is the Loch Gorm 10-year-old. And the one on the right is the 16-year-old. So quite interesting when you looked at three glasses there. The 13-year-old, I believe it was finished in, it was bourbon and octaves, which are smaller than quarter casks, but it was finished, I think, the last year in Calvados, which is an apple brandy, so it's going to have a lighter color. There's no Oloroso in it, but when you looked at the one in the center, I believe was the Loch Gorm, and then you looked at the one on this side here was, of course, the 16-year-old here, and it was, the two of them are so close. At first I thought the 16-year-old was darker, but now I'm looking at him twice there, the Loch Gorm, which is exclusively sherry, so it should be darker, even though it's 10 years versus 16, but I mean, I really believe that it was the darker than the 16 there. So anyways, it was just neat to look at because it's natural color, that's why. Let's get into the nose. The 16-year-old, Kilchoman 16-year-old, the longest age statement up to 2023. 2025 was their 20th anniversary, by the way, so. Salangeva. Oh yeah, we're getting, yeah, this is definitely a different nose than the Loch Gorm. Lots of sweetness. And some umami notes here. You know, the honey notes, vanilla, berries, a little bit of maritime notes there. Some of that medicinal stuff going on. But not, to me, it's not a sooty peaty, you know, typical of your Kilchomans, but some richness to it. Yeah, interesting. I was expecting a little more sootiness, but anyways, maybe it's me. Been doing quite a bit of peated stuff lately, so. The palate. Salangeva. The peat, the campfire, the beach fire, kelp. We're getting some granola stuff going on here, sweet granola, but still with a little bit of that peat coating my tongue, coating my mouth. We're seeing a little bit of the transformation back to umami stuff here. I'm getting definitely something meaty, you know. I'm going back to the, you know, the Lochgorn, that barbecue stuff that was going on. Coffee. And little bit of the chocolate's kind of a bit of a minted chocolate, minted dark chocolate. Anyways, I'm going to go for the development and the finish. Solanchva. The peat's a little more faded there. The medicinal stuff has disappeared. And definitely coffee notes, some tobacco stuff going on. There's a sweetness there. I think that's typical of the bourbon, you know. You know, vanilla custard pie. Maybe even a little bit of citrusy stuff going on. But berries again, darker fruits. And the chocolate has become citrusy. It was kind of minty there. It's become a little more citrusy. This is kind of a medium body. It's going to have a medium finish. Like I say, it does have a good coating. A little bit better finish than the last one I did, the Lochgorn there. And in terms of the dynamics of the development there, a 16-year-old, one of the longer age statements for Kilchoman, if not the longest, you know. It's taken the sharp edges off, certainly off of the whiskey that I knew, or the whiskey I'm sort of getting to know. It's to a bit of a fault in places, because I don't mind a bit of those sharp edges, eh? So a lot of people talk about the smoothness of whiskeys and that. And with this one here, I'd like to see it distinguish itself a little bit more, because it is a very expensive whiskey. And so what I'm getting is it seems to be losing its identity a bit. In the beginning, it definitely seemed to have, there was something I could really focus on and distinguish, whereas now it's kind of like the word smooth, it's rounded, you know. So I don't know if water will change that, because right now I'm in a stage where the finish is pretty much disappeared. So I'm going to put a couple of drops of water in and just see what happens. So with water, we'll get a little bit of a nose there. Yeah, that couple of drops of water definitely kind of amplified. Oh, there's a bit of umami stuff going on here again, so that's good. Getting a sort of a putrid smell, a little bit of a, which you get in a lot of whiskeys, eh? And the medicinal sort of came back. I think I did 2 drops of water in this, so. You know, there is some bourbon, and I'm smelling, you know, a little bit of the sherry influence. There's certainly the darker fruits, maybe some stewed prunes, a little bit of raisiny stuff going on. But anyways, let's go after the palate with water. Solange. Right off the bat, where I normally get a lot of sweetness, actually I'm getting a little bit of a mix here of bitter sweet, and that tobacco is definitely there. Oh, here comes the yeah, it's citrusy chocolate, or orange chocolate, or lemon chocolate, whatever you want to call it. And we've got I'm going to stay with maybe white pepper. Not as spicy as it was earlier, but it's got there's some Italian herbal stuff going on here again. I keep getting that in these whiskeys here. And you've got a little more dryness. The other day there when I was doing the review for the Loch Gorm, I was kind of salivating, but I'm not here. I've got a dry mouth. It's interesting. With the water, it didn't hurt it. And it kind of brought it back a little bit to where I want it to be, because I was kind of getting a little bit, I was a little disappointed there in the development, the finish toward the end of it there. So this is definitely giving it a new life here. So we've got certainly those notes that you expect. You know, there's a little bit of the vanilla, the banana, the granola stuff is still there, but I'm getting a little bit of wood maybe now. So, and that could be a little bit of that bitterness too, is the wood. But I'm not getting the rubber tires, or a lot of the stuff I was getting even in the Loch Gorm there. For some reason, I don't know why. Whether it's just me tonight or. Overall, this is it's a good dram, but it's a 16-year-old presentation of something that's going to cost over here in Canada $400 plus. It costs a lot in Great Britain. So I'm really cautious about being critical on that, because this distillery obviously needed to at some point make some profit and get up and running, so we can see more of this stuff and see the price come down, which I'm really anticipating that these whiskeys are going to come down in price, and they're going to be, I think we're all going to be pretty happy with what Anthony Wills is doing. Right now, this might be a little bit out of my league in terms of price in proportion to what I'm getting out of the glass. God, if somebody pours it at this, I'm going to drink it. This isn't a bad drink, but believe you me, I do budget things out to what I think should be affordable for me. What I feel I can put on my shelf. I just feel like maybe 86 is a good score for it, and I'm going to leave it at that. I'm not usually too hard on these guys, but I feel like I'm being kind of hard on them, but that's where I'm going to leave it, 86. So that's it. That's my review on the 16-year-old Kilchoman. And on that note, I'm going to ask you to drink wisely, drink intelligently, and do not drink and drive. Until the next time, so long, Oban.